reminder that the next meal is a few hours away.
Brought to you by Smithfield Lean Generation Pork, WVEC, Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, and Children's Health Network.
You're watching WVEC TV, Channel 13.
Generations have learned the 3 R's here, but is Norfolk's oldest school ready to join the history books?
Local Air Force pilots will not get the flight time they want.
And Mother Nature came to the rescue today for anyone suffering from cabin fever.
This is 13 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Mike Lewis. Terry has the night off.
And I'm Regina Mobley. Preservation versus education. The battle has ended in Norfolk with a decision tonight on Taylor Elementary School. 13's Priscilla Monti joins us now live from the school administration building where the board meeting just ended. Priscilla, we understand a new school is in the works.
That's right, Regina. The decision just came down a little over an hour ago to move forward on this project. But before the school board reached that unanimous vote, many residents asked them to consider the past. Take a good look at this 80-year-old building. It's about to become part of Norfolk history. The school board decided this night to tear down Taylor Elementary and build a new school on the same property. Principal Marianne Bowen is thrilled.
It will make a big difference. We were on a setting in which only 250 students were planned for. We're presently at 400. We've had to use every nook and cranny in Taylor to make a difference for everything that's added. And really, it'll make a difference and take the children into the next probably 30, 40 years in a way in which they deserve to go.
The problems with the school are many, including termites, water damage, and faulty heat and air circulation systems. To renovate the school would cost between $4 and $6.5 million. Many residents told the school board the city should invest in preserving this piece of the past.
Tear down a building that is the cornerstone of the neighborhood and has been since the neighborhood developed around it. The other would have you save the building for future generations. The costs are not vastly different, but the effects of what you decide will be enormously different.
But in the end, the board accepted the drive of those pushing to build a new Taylor that meets the needs of 21st century students.
I believe in the dreams of the future more than the history of the past.
Those fearful of losing this piece of history may take a little bit of comfort in knowing that part of Taylor's heritage will live on. The old doors and wooden frames around the windows will be part of the new building, as will the big statue of George Washington that now sits in the lobby. Also, the school board said that they will work closely with the architects to make sure that the new building really fits in with the Ghent neighborhood and the whole style that was built up in the 1900s. Regina.
Well, Priscilla, when does construction begin?
Well, it should begin probably in July. Technically, tonight, the school board only authorized to have an architect start designing a new school. They didn't appropriate any funds, so they have to go through that part of the process. Then they could begin construction in July, and a new school could be ready for students in September of 1998.
All right, thanks so much, Priscilla. Mike?
Well, Air Force pilots who want to practice flyovers are once again looking for airspace. That word tonight from the Air Force. F-15 pilots from Langley Air Force Base had hoped to make more than 2,000 training flights over the Virginia-West Virginia border, but they haven't been able to negotiate a deal. Right now, pilots fly only 66 flights a year over that region. And there is another change in store for the military. Tomorrow, the Navy retires its A-6 intruders. Look for live reports on that story on 13 News throughout the day tomorrow.
New word from Washington tonight that even more documents from the Gulf War are missing. The papers concern time periods when troops may have been exposed to chemical weapons. This home video shows troops destroying an Iraqi munitions depot during the war. The Pentagon says it's possible a computer virus destroyed the missing documents. Federal safety experts are sending a warning tonight about the dangers of laser light shows. These shows have become increasingly popular, but they could pose a hazard to airplanes. Officials want the FAA to warn pilots of areas where laser light shows operate and advise pilots on how to avoid them. There have already been incidents in Los Angeles and Las Vegas where the laser lights impaired the vision of pilots.
Tobacco companies have won a major victory in California today. That tops tonight's news from across America. A federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit filed by a dozen California counties seeking damages for treating people with smoke-related illnesses. Tobacco lawyers will now use the ruling to get similar lawsuits in 17 other states thrown out. For the first time ever, there is a significant drop in the number of people dying from AIDS in this country. The government says AIDS-related deaths fell 13% in the first half of 1996 to 22,000. The Centers for Disease Control says new drugs and prevention messages targeting those at greatest risk are making a difference.
Fortunately, I'm HIV negative. But over the last 12 years, I've lost nearly all my most beloved friends to AIDS.
And the CDC says the number of people diagnosed with AIDS continues to grow, but at a slower rate. Rescue workers in Michigan tonight are struggling to save a diver trapped while working on a dam in a Detroit suburb. Rushing water pinned him earlier today as he was clearing debris near the dam. The strong current is making the rescue difficult tonight. Meantime, air and warm water are being pumped to the man's diving suit from above ground.
It sounds like the movie plot of Jurassic Park. New Zealand scientists are actually working on a project that could give new life to an extinct bird. That story tops news from around the world tonight. The giant moa bird has been extinct for more than 400 years. Now scientists are extracting DNA from their remains and injecting them into ostrich eggs. They hope to hatch a hybrid mostrich. If the experiment works, it will be the first time a subbreed has ever been created from an extinct species. For better or worse, Ireland is beginning the process of making divorce legal. Married couples who want to separate can now file for a dissolution. The predominantly Catholic Ireland is one of the last countries to introduce divorce.
Are warm nights like tonight giving you cabin fever? Well, if so, you are not alone. Lauren Yee reports tonight on how moods are dictated by the weather.
It's shirts off and shorts on.
I think everyone's got spring fever today.
That's because we're seeing springtime temperatures in February.
Summer. It's beautiful out. It makes you want to just go out and enjoy the sun and enjoy the evening when the sun is gone.
Even at dusk at the ocean front, everyone was taking advantage of the warm weather outside. We found a lot of bladers,